When patients are told their pain is just stress, something dangerous happens. Their biology gets ignored. Fibromyalgia is not imaginary. It is not weakness. And it is not simply anxiety wearing a disguise. Research shows that people with fibromyalgia have measurable changes in how their nervous system processes pain. Brain imaging studies reveal amplified activity in pain processing centers. It's called central sensitization, where the nervous system turns the volume knob of pain all the way up. What if I told you your pain isn't coming from your muscles, but from a volume knob inside your brain that's been turned all the way up? In fibromyalgia, the nervous system doesn't just detect pain, it amplifies it. This phenomenon is called central sensitization, and it is one of the most documented biological findings in modern pain science. Brain imaging studies from institutions like Harvard Medical School show that when fibromyalgia patients are exposed to mild pressure, pressure that healthy individuals barely notice, their pain centers light up intensely on functional MRI scans. The insula, the anterior cingulate cortex, the somatosensory cortex, these regions responsible for processing pain signals become hyperactive. In simple terms, the brain reacts as if a small spark were a raging fire. Research published by the National Institutes of Health confirms that fibromyalgia patients have increased levels of excitatory neurotransmitters like glutamate in these pain processing regions. More glutamate means louder signals, and louder signals mean more pain, even when there's no tissue damage. This is why scans often show no visible injury. The suffering is real, but the origin is neurological amplification, not structural destruction. Even more shocking, spinal fluid studies reveal elevated levels of substance P, a chemical messenger that intensifies pain perception, sometimes 3 times higher than normal. 3 times. Imagine living in a body where every touch, every movement, every moment of stress is magnified. This is not weakness. This is a nervous system stuck in high alert. Central sensitization is the biological reason why fibromyalgia pain spreads, lingers, and resists conventional treatments. But here's the powerful truth. If the nervous system can turn the volume up, science suggests it can also learn to turn it down. And that possibility changes everything. What if the real source of fibromyalgia pain isn't in your joints, but in silent inflammation, burning inside your brain? For years, patients were told their blood tests were normal, but modern neuroscience is revealing something deeper, something invisible to routine labs. Researchers at Massachusetts General Hospital used advanced brain imaging to uncover increased activation of glial cells in people with fibromyalgia. Glial cells are the immune cells of the nervous system. When they switch on, they release inflammatory chemicals designed to protect you from injury. But in fibromyalgia, they may stay switched on. A groundbreaking study published in the journal Brain found widespread neuroinflammation across multiple brain regions in fibromyalgia patients. This isn't stress imagination. This is measurable immune activation inside the central nervous system. Elevated levels of inflammatory cytokines, including interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, have been detected in blood and spinal fluid. These chemicals are known to increase pain sensitivity by altering how nerves transmit signals. They lower the threshold for pain. They make normal sensations feel threatening. They keep the nervous system on edge. Chronic neuroinflammation also disrupts sleep regulation, which explains why fibromyalgia patients often wake up exhausted even after hours in bed. And poor sleep further fuels inflammation, creating a vicious biological cycle. What's even more alarming is that prolonged inflammation can alter neurotransmitter balance, affecting mood, memory, and cognitive clarity. This is why fibrofog is not psychological weakness. It is inflammatory biology affecting brain circuits. When immune cells in the brain are inflamed, perception itself changes. Pain becomes louder, fatigue becomes crushing, concentration becomes fragile. Fibromyalgia is not simply pain in the body. It may be an immune storm inside the nervous system, and understanding that inflammation is present is the first step toward calming it. What if the crushing fatigue of fibromyalgia isn't laziness, but a power failure deep inside your cells? Every cell in your body runs on microscopic engines called mitochondria. These tiny structures convert oxygen and nutrients into ATP, the energy currency that keeps nerves firing, muscles moving, and the brain thinking clearly. When mitochondria falter, the entire system weakens. Multiple studies have found evidence of mitochondrial dysfunction in fibromyalgia patients, including reduced ATP production and increased oxidative stress markers. Researchers at University of Granada reported abnormalities in mitochondrial energy metabolism in women with fibromyalgia, suggesting their cells were struggling to generate adequate fuel. Less energy means muscles fatigue faster. Less energy means nerves misfire. Less energy means recovery takes longer than it should. Even more concerning, oxidative stress, an imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants, has been consistently elevated in fibromyalgia patients. Excess free radicals damage mitochondrial membranes, impairing their ability to produce energy efficiently. It becomes a vicious biological loop. Damaged mitochondria create more oxidative stress. More oxidative stress damages more mitochondria, and the result feels like waking up exhausted, no matter how long you slept. This cellular energy deficit may also amplify pain perception. When nerve cells lack ATP, they struggle to regulate ion channels properly, making them more excitable and more likely to send exaggerated pain signals. It's not just muscle soreness, it's cellular burnout. Some research even suggests lower levels of coenzyme Q10, a critical molecule for mitochondrial energy production, in fibromyalgia patients. Without adequate fuel support, your nervous system cannot stabilize itself. This is why fibromyalgia feels like running a marathon with a drained battery. But here's the hope. Mitochondria are dynamic. They respond to nutrition, movement, and targeted lifestyle changes. And when you begin restoring cellular energy, you may begin restoring resilience from the inside out. What if the hidden key to fibromyalgia pain isn't just in your brain or muscles, but in your gut? Up to 70% of your immune system lives in the digestive tract. The trillions of microbes in your gut communicate constantly with your brain, your nerves, even your immune cells. This is the gut-brain axis, a delicate conversation that regulates inflammation, pain perception, and mood. In fibromyalgia, that conversation often goes awry. A study from Cedars-Sinai Medical Center found distinct imbalances in the gut microbiome of fibromyalgia patients compared to healthy individuals. Beneficial bacteria like bifidobacterium and faecalibacterium were reduced, while species associated with inflammation were elevated. This imbalance isn't harmless. It fuels systemic inflammation. It sends distress signals up the vagus nerve, priming the nervous system to overreact to pain. Even more alarming, certain gut microbes can produce metabolites that cross into the bloodstream, altering neurotransmitter function in the brain. This could help explain the fatigue, fibrofog, and mood disturbances that plague so many patients. When the gut is inflamed or imbalanced, every bite of food can trigger subtle immune activation, keeping the nervous system on high alert. Research shows that restoring microbial diversity through diet can reduce inflammatory markers and improve symptom severity. Fermented foods, prebiotic fibers, polyphenol-rich fruits, and vegetables feed beneficial bacteria and may calm the overactive pain system. It's not just a theory. Clinical trials suggest that targeted dietary interventions can measurably improve pain scores in fibromyalgia. Your gut is not separate from your nervous system. It is a command center that can either fan the flames of pain or help extinguish them. When you begin to nurture your microbiome, you're not just supporting digestion, you're quietly rewiring the conversation between your gut and your brain, giving your nervous system a chance to turn the volume down and reclaim calm. What if the hidden cause of your relentless muscle pain isn't just nerves or inflammation, but tiny blood vessels struggling to deliver oxygen where it's needed most? Every cell in your body depends on microcirculation, the flow of blood through the smallest vessels, capillaries no wider than a human hair. When circulation falters, tissues starve, nerves misfire, and pain amplifies. Studies from Johns Hopkins University reveal that many fibromyalgia patients have impaired endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to relax and dilate. This dysfunction limits oxygen delivery to muscles, contributing to fatigue and tenderness that seems to appear out of nowhere. Even light activity can leave the muscles burning, aching, and exhausted. It's not laziness, it's biology. Research has shown that decreased capillary density and poor blood flow correlate with increased pain sensitivity in fibromyalgia. When your tissues aren't properly nourished, the nervous system interprets it as danger. Pain signals escalate even in the absence of actual injury. And the problem compounds. Chronic microcirculation issues lead to oxidative stress, further damaging endothelial cells and perpetuating a cycle of pain and fatigue. Certain nutrients can make a difference. Polyphenols in berries and olive oil improve endothelial function and promote vasodilation. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish reduce inflammation in the blood vessels themselves. Magnesium, abundant in leafy greens and nuts, supports smooth muscle relaxation in vessel walls, improving flow. Even simple lifestyle choices, gentle exercise, hydration, and avoiding processed sugars have measurable effects on microcirculation. Your blood vessels are not passive pipes. They are active participants in your pain system. By nourishing and supporting them, you help your nervous system receive the oxygen it desperately needs, lowering the volume of pain and fatigue. Fibromyalgia is not a failure of willpower. It is a failure of delivery. And understanding this changes everything. What if the most powerful medicine for fibromyalgia isn't a pill, but what's on your plate every single day? Food is not just fuel, it is information. It talks to your immune system, your blood vessels, your mitochondria, and even your brain. Every bite can either fan the flames of inflammation or whisper calm to an overactive nervous system. Research shows that polyphenols, antioxidant compounds found in berries, extra virgin olive oil, and dark chocolate directly reduce neuroinflammation. They dampen glial cell activation and protect nerve cells from oxidative damage. Omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish like salmon and sardines have a similar effect, lowering inflammatory cytokines that amplify pain perception. Magnesium-rich foods, including spinach, kale, and pumpkin seeds, help nerves relax, reducing hyperexcitability in the central nervous system. Fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, and yogurt improve gut microbiome diversity, restoring balance to the gut-brain axis and quieting the constant immune signals that keep your pain system on high alert. Green tea contains epigallocatechin gallate, a potent antioxidant that activates protective pathways in neurons, guarding them against stress and overactivation. But it's not just about individual superfoods. It's about patterns. Eating a colorful, nutrient-dense diet consistently communicates to your body that it can downregulate stress, reduce inflammation, and restore energy. Practical strategies are simple. Start your day with berries and green tea. Add leafy greens drizzled with olive oil to lunch. Include fatty fish a few times a week. Snack on nuts and seeds. And regularly incorporate fermented foods. Over weeks and months, these small, consistent choices shape your nervous system, calm your immune cells, and restore resilience at a cellular level. Fibromyalgia is not just a disease of pain, it's a disease of imbalance, and the right foods can help your body find its way back to harmony. Your plate can become your most powerful tool for relief.